And then how did it get to the weakest link?
So so that started in 2006. In about 2008, I was working with a lady, and she happened to appear on the weakest link. And she got to the last four, so she didn't embarrass herself. She got to the last four. It's one of those things people at work were like taking the mick out of her. Oh, Linda, you could have done better than that. You could have gotten all the way to the final. You voted for the wrong person, and this, that. And she in good humor, she turned around and she goes, I'd like to see one of you lot do better.
Yeah, exactly.
You're giving it all that. Come on,
Yeah.
you guys start applying. So about 4 of us applied for it, and 2 of us got on eventually. And so what it is, they came to Birmingham, they did the audition. So they did like a mock round, they checked your general knowledge. Because what they do is when send you on the show, they put people with similar general knowledge ability on. So
okay.
So they want people that have similar ability, so it's not easy to work out who's
the weakest link.
Whatever.
Yeah.
So,
that's actually quite clever. Yeah.
So I did the audition, and I got a call saying, okay, we want you to come and film in August at Pinewood Studios, which is where they filmed it.
Oh, Pinewood. Okay, yeah.
So we rock up at Pinewood Studios, which is very tight security because obviously all the big films are being done at
Pinewood is Surrey, isn't it?
It's near, just outside Slough.
Slough. Okay. Yeah.
Slough, just off the M40. But what they did is, it's a fascinating day because they filmed 3 episodes every day.
Oh wow!
If you think about it, it used to be on 5 days a week. So
yeah. Regular.
That's to get a good bank of episodes in. Yeah.
So they filmed 3 episodes. So when I got there for 11:30, so they just finished filming the first episode of the day. And then the people for the second one were about to go, and then we went in, and I made a big rookie mistake when I applied for Week Link. Yeah. And they told me this afterwards is I gave them too much detail about my life.
So Anne Robinson's
so I gave them too much, like, oh, I've done theatre acting, I've done this, I've done that, working on IT, I've done this. So I gave them too much ammunition.
You giving it the bump, you're like, yeah, I'm big man.
Yeah, okay. And what happened is another guy, he hardly gave anything away.
Yeah.
So like on the day, so they check all the facts. Is this fact correct? Is this fact correct? Yeah, that's all correct. Then they put you in that room, these 9 people I've never met before. We spent 3 hours with each other by that point, and then put you into the studio and you take your position, you introduce yourself, and she walks on, bang, straight into that first round. And our first round is one of those unique ones where everybody got their question right.
Ooh.
We got round, but what happened was the guy at the beginning didn't twig that we'd all got our first question right, so he forgot to say bank. So if he'd got his question wrong, we'd have lost the lot. So fortunately, he got the second question he was asked right, but it didn't make. There's no more money to bank because we got to the £1,000. So the next person said bank, and about 6 of us voted for him. Though he was technically the weakest link because he answered 2 questions. He was the weakest because he wasn't paying attention to the fact that he'd forgot to bank.
Oh my days!
He was fuming when he went off.
So, yeah. Oh, what a way to go!
It was, and then what happened was at the end of the first round, she's. What happens is that what they show on TV is only a fraction of how much she roasts people. She like really spends time on it. And then they put the best bits on TV. So she hasn't got this one woman. Then she turns around to me and I'm like, oh, here we go.
Yeah.
And then they say to her, don't answer back. The more you answer back, the more she's going to
go in.
So I just rolled with her. I had a bit of a laugh with her. I thought, okay. And then I'm like, really body the gay. That's me done. That's it. She's not going to pick on.
No, before that, what did she like? What was her bits that she got in?
She picked on the acting and the IT stuff. And she goes, oh, you think you're a runner? And I wasn't in running shape at that point.
Yeah.
So she really, really went for it. So the second round finishes, and I'm stood there nice and relaxed thinking, well, Anne Robinson's already had me. So I'm just going to pick 3 other people. The next thing she says my name again. And you can see a look of shock on my face.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this isn't what's meant to happen. This isn't how the weakest link works. You don't pick
scripted. Unscripted.
And then she goes through my IT, and then she goes through the acting thing. How can you play a bishop on stage when you're Sikh and all this sort of stuff? And then I said something, and she smiled at the end. And at the end of the third round, the producer came over and she goes, "We're really, really, really sorry, because it wasn't your name that should have come out there. It was somebody else's. She's not meant to pick on the same person twice." He goes, "That's no consolation whatsoever to me now, because she's completely rinsed me."
Yeah.
And I suppose the only good thing that came out is I got to the final and won. But I was the weakest link in 1 round, but I got away with it, and I was the strongest link in 2, I think.
Sorted.
Oh.
But we got
big off. Yeah.
But what happens is off air, everybody that got voted out first doesn't get to her. So the only people that get to meet are the people that make the final.
Oh,
As final being the
She's
final
very-
four or
The final two.
final two? Oh, okay. And
The
what was she
final
like?
two
As
actually get. Oh, she's lovely off screen.
oh, okay. So she's not like just
Very polite
sarcastic all the
off-screen.
time.
I've
or
seen
anything,
clips of
yeah.
her getting rinsed by people on the weakest link. Like there's this
Yeah.
one episode of this one guy who just bites back at her again and again, and she can't take it. And I'm like, oh, that made me feel really warm inside because she always came across.
She's
as the
human.
know-it-all.
She's human.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she can be quite vicious, and I think that's why it didn't take off in America as much because the Americans took it too personally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here is that British thing where we
Start
roll
storming
with
off
it.
stage.
Stiff upper lip.
We're just
over
like,
here.
yeah, I'll just roll with it. But
It's like when you see these, Gordon Ramsay goes into these places and fixes
Yes.
places or whatever.
yeah,
And you see these guys go, I'm not going to stand here, take this shit from you. And he's like, storms
And
out.
he
Yeah.
goes, "It's raw. It's fucking raw.
yeah.
You fucking donkey!" Right? Oh my god!
My dog would eat this
amazing.
shit.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
God.
exactly that. It's just yeah. But I mean, that was how I ended up on the weakest thing. It was just a silly conversation in the office about, let's say you go on and do better. And then when it finally got aired, because it filmed in August but didn't get aired till November.
Mm.
So I finished filming and my mum had gone down to Slough because my mum's cousin lives there. So, and I walked in the house,
Yeah.
and trying not to tell anybody how you got on. And I walked in the house. My mum said, "How did you?" Because I did okay. I did okay. I didn't brace myself.
Yeah.
Driving back up the M40, she goes, "How did you do?" And I was okay. I'll tell you, but you can't tell anybody else. I was, I won.
Yeah.
And she goes, "What? Why didn't you get it? This your mum."
Go to
That's
That's it. Yeah, I was going to stage secretary. ਅੱਜ ਸਾਡੇ ਸੰਗਤ ਵਿੱਚ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਪੈਸ਼ਲ ਮੈਂਬਰ ਹੈ
Ardas.
ਇਸ ਮੁੰਡੇ
Right?
ਇਸ ਮੁੰਡੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਛੋਟਾ ਸੀ ਕੁਛ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀਗਾ ਇਹਦੇ ਕੋਲ ਸਾਰੇ ਕਹੀ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਸੀ ਬਾਲ ਕੱਟ ਲਾ ਇਸ ਸਰਦਾਰ ਸਿੰਘ ਨੇ ਵੀਕੈਸਟ ਲਿੰਕ ਜਿੱਤ ਗਿਆ ਸਟਰੋਂਗੈਸਟ ਲਿੰਕ ਬਣ ਗਿਆ
Yeah. And then we
Oh,
got home,
man.
so told my wife, told my dad, I lied to my sister, lied to all my cousins, and who knew what was going on. And then I changed job roles between when I did the job and when it aired.
Hmm.
And so I said, okay, at work, I said, oh, by the way, guys, I was on the weakest link. The episode's airing tonight.
yeah
And this was just when Facebook had took off. So people were watching and people were commenting, "Oh, Barrett, good round, good knowledge." Or it'd be like, terrible answer.
Yeah.
Wow, you're strong. I think samosas are on you tomorrow. So I thought, okay, I'll take some samosas in.
yeah
And I remember this one guy walks into the office who hadn't watched it, wasn't aware of what happened. He walks up to me. He's like, thought he was being really clever. He's like, "Okay, Barry Chima, you are the weakest link. Goodbye. Ha." And he walks up and everybody's looking at him like,
he won
"Stu, you do know you won." He's like, "I beg your pardon. You do know you won." He's like, "You won?" He's like, "Yeah, I won." Oh. And I'm thinking, yeah.
like you're like no
Ultimate brag.
samosa for you
Yeah.
Give me that small sub back.
Yeah.
oh my god what a funny guy so I guess
That's
Bazza, the only logical next question after that is when are you applying to the apprentice
No.
come on Bazza.
I'm-
American,
Man, come on these idiots man
I've got no business acumen whatsoever. And I think one of the issues with reality TV
Baz, it's just about being sensible
Baz,
know.
I don't think they have any business accolades either, mate.
This is true, yeah. I think it's interesting. We're talking about this at work today about the very first reality shows like Big Brother and stuff. We all watched the first reality shows because it was people being normal.
Yep.
Then it evolved into reality shows are a platform to
idiots
become
Yeah.
idiots. And I think that's just not for me because I'd be too much of a straight talker. So I'd be straight out.
I saw a guy I follow on Twitter today. He pretty much summarized it. He said, imagine having a kid and then 25 years into it, they come up to you and say, "I want to go on Love Island."
Yeah.
And he said, "I'd disown him on the spot." And I'm like,
think
you know
that's
what?
the-
I get it. I get it.
Oh,
I
I
get that.
agree with that.
yeah Indy we're like we don't have kids and we're like no that's just not acceptable man
It's
No,
not acceptable.
sorry.
that is never
Can't
ever
see
ever
that.
gonna be
Can't see
acceptable.
that. No.
Where I do kind of see you, Baz, though, is I don't know if it's a space you've kind of thought about is stand-up comedy, man. Like, like kind of Ramesh, Ranganathan, like your comedy, man. I'm telling you, there's no one that looks like you. Yeah, that's a space I'd love to see you in, man. Do some
Yeah,
comedy.
you never know. I mean, I'd like to give everything a try at least once. Done the TV, done like the extra work and the quiz shows. So
Yeah.
Nope.
No, you have done it all, and
I'll keep you posted.
no, honestly, if you do a show, even if you start like the Glee, wherever it might be, Indy and I
Yeah.
will be there.
Shout us, man.
Yeah.
We'll happily be
Yeah,
there.
we will be there to
Definitely.
support that.